Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is a contradiction about BRANCHFORM investigation between the police and the prosecution service, which is a bit bizarre. And this story came about because yesterday Nicola Sturgeon announced to the world that she was splitting with her husband. And then a load of things started. Why now? What's the reasoning behind this? Why is it only coming out? Is it something to do with BRANCHFORM and all that sort of stuff? And there's been a bit of noise about, is this anything to do with BRANCHFORM? And I can't see the logic behind, I don't know. I hope it is, but who knows? I think it's more likely, maybe there was a newspaper had a story about her living with a woman or something to that ilk, and that's why she's jumped in front of the press releasing stories. Or there might be something in the book coming out about her being not into men. So the rumour mill's been awash, and there's a story came out in the Scottish Daily Express which highlighted something that I was going to do a video on until I found out there was something else in the story that everybody else seems to have missed. So what I was going to do the story on was, their story is basically the police are fed up getting the blame for BRANCHFORM because they're saying the investigation finished in August. And at that point, they sent up the charges for Peter Murell, and they sent up a list of the evidence that they have against the other two people that were being investigated, and that was Colin, what's terrible his name, head the treasurer, and Nicola Sturgeon. So at that point, the police say that their investigation finished because they gave up all the charges on one of the accused now, and a whole list of evidence against the other two who they were investigating up until that point. So that was going to be my story today, was why is BRANCHFORM investigation finished in August and we've still the Crown Prosecution Service have done nothing about it? But the Crown Prosecution Service are saying something different. They're telling us now that the other two are still under investigation. And that simply can't be true. Because the police are telling us the finished investigation, so who's investigating them, right? So what happened was, so as I say, the story that I picked up on was by Douglas Dickey in the Express. Headline: Operation BRANCHFORM, police fed up being blamed for length of SNP finance probe, right? And in this story, there is the David Kennedy, the General Secretary of the Scottish Police Federation, where he is quoted as saying, I just lost it there a second, the police investigation, as far as we are concerned, has been completed. It is frustrating for police officers involved that they are continually getting the blame for dragging their heels. They've done all they can, and it's now down to the Crown Office. We need the Crown Office to make a decision one way or another. And that's kind of where I was with the whole thing. The same as this David Kennedy of the Police Federation. And he continues, for the public to move on, they need to know what is going to happen. It would be a good thing for the people of Scotland to know where things stand and where it's going to lead, rather than have all this speculation. I kind of agree with that. That makes perfect sense. And if there's no clarity, then people will just speculate. Another senior source suggested the length of time BRANCHFORM is taking reflects badly on us, they said. The force has done everything we could possibly do, and that a charging decision has to be made. It's frustrating because the assumptions are that the police have not done their job, or are dragging their feet, or this is political, and so on and so forth. What we simply don't know what's going on at the Crown Office. So these people, two sources, one named, one is just named as a senior source, are saying the exact same as my understanding. Police are finished. Police have went, there you go, there's the charges for Murell, there's all the evidence for the other two, what do you want us to do with the other two? Tell us how you want to proceed. So the investigations are all done. They'll either come back and say, charge them or bin them, take him to court or not take him to court. That's what the police are doing. They're not investigating it anymore. And they haven't been investigating it for over 5 months now, since August. The investigation's finished in August. They're not looking at any fresh evidence. They're not looking at anything else. They've done everything that they feel they need to investigate whether these crimes have happened or not. They're so convinced at one that they've charged them. And they've sent the prosecution people the charge to take it to court or not. And the other two, they've gave it all their evidence and said, what do you think? Investigation's finished. There is no more. So that's where the police are. And then we get two quotes from prosecution. So it goes on a bit about BRANCHFORM scope was widened in 2023 to look at potential embezzlement, and in April last year Murell was re-arrested and charged with embezzlement of funds. Neither Sturgeon nor BT have been charged as yet. The Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service said a standard prosecution report has been received from Police Scotland in relation to a 60-year-old man, an instance said to have occurred between 2016 and 2023. That's Murell, right? So they've got a standard prosecution report. Connected investigations of two other individuals, a man aged 73, obviously BT, and a 54-year-old woman, obviously Sturgeon, remain ongoing. This is the Crown Office. Before deciding what action to take, if any, the public interest prosecutors will consider if there is enough evidence. There must be evidence from at least two separate sources to establish that a crime is committed and that the person under investigation was the perpetrator. Well, that's not any different from any other crime. So what we now know is the Crown Office, who are the prosecutor fiscal office, are saying this investigation is still ongoing. That kind of takes the responsibility back off them and flings it at the coppers. When the coppers are saying, well, we finished, and we finished in August. So what you're having here is something that I've suggested all along. A wee hot potato getting flung between the police and the Crown Office. No really want to take responsibility for the decisions that are going to upset some people in Scotland, either way. Because if they charge and take them to court or charge the other two, or even one of the other two, some people think, oh, this is terrible and it's just, it's anti-Indy and all that nonsense. If they don't charge any of them, then people will say, well, this was just never going to happen because of the Crown Office and Dorothy Bain, who's the head of the Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service, and Lord Advocate, is part of the Scottish Parliament, Scottish Government's cabinet. So nobody wins, right? Whatever the decision is, because some people will not be happy with the decision either way. And it's evident here that what the Crown Office are trying to do, and on this, it's a coin toss, it's 50-50, I'm believing the coppers. I genuinely believe they finished their investigations and they have done what they've told the public they've done. There you go. Crown Office. There's the charge sheet for one. Go and take it to court or not. We've done enough. If the police didn't think there was enough evidence to charge him, they would not have charged him. Okay? So they put that to the prosecutor fiscal, who then organised trials or not. And the most telling thing is, and I thought this at the time, I thought, that's a bit weird. Why are the police not taking responsibility to either charge or not charge Sturgeon and or Beattie? Then I thought, well, that's quite a clever move, because they've just put the responsibility on the charge to the Crown Office. Why, I don't know. Were they playing politics? I don't know. Were they maybe getting suggested that they might not want to do? I don't know, right? I'm not going to speculate. But they didn't. They pushed that responsibility clear onto the Crown Office. And the Crown Office have now had since August. When in August exactly, I don't know, but that's roughly 5 months. 5 months to look at paperwork for a case and decide if the man charged is going to court, and the other two that have been investigations and the investigations are finished, look at the evidence and decide how they want to go forward. The whole thing is turning into a farce. And as far as I'm concerned, looking at the evidence I can in front of me, the delay lies firmly at the door of the Crown Office, led by Scottish Government Cabinet Minister Dorothy Bain. Dorothy Bain, take yourself out of the debate, just make a decision. Just get a decision made by your department. Tell the Scottish people, are we putting this in the bin after 23 million quid in 4 years of investigating, or are we carrying forward to take at least one of them, between 1 and 3 of them, to court for a trial, because criminality has or has not happened. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not already done so, please hit the subscribe and the notifications button. Get involved in the comments below, you always do, and they're good fun. But most importantly of all, unless you're any of the types that are under investigation, or were under investigation by BRANCHFORM, is now investigation completed, not you. But
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.